Hi, my name is Tony Cummings, and welcome back to the Kappas for Kidz. This month, we're reading a series of stories written by female authors to commemorate Women's History Month. Did you know that March is the month we designated to celebrate and acknowledge the achievements of and contributions of women made in our country? Did you also know that Women's History Month started in 1982 as a Women's History Week? In fact, it wasn't until 1987 the National Women's History Project petitioned Congress to expand Women's History Week to Women's History Month. In honor of Women's History Month, the Peoria alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is proud to present Kappas for Kidz. In a partnership with the Peoria PlayHouse Children's Museum, we also will be working with PlayHouse to offer some great programs over the next couple of months, both virtually and at the museum when it reopens. Stay tuned for more information after the story. Now, I am delighted to introduce our guest reader this week, Ms. Kimberly Carey of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated and PCCEO, to share with you today's book entitled Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman, illustrated by Caroline Binch. Take it away, Kim.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to share with you today's book, again entitled Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman and illustrated by Caroline Binch. This is a book about adversity and daring to dream. Let's begin. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or told to her or made up in her mind. She didn't care if they were in books or movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she had heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out. And she'd always give herself the most exciting part. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc and wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. She was Hiawatha sitting by the shining big sea water and Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat and found a city of streets paved in gold. Or she was Aladdin, rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appear. Sometimes she would get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. One day, Grace's teacher said that they would be doing the play Peter Pan. Grace knew who she wanted to be. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter Pan. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter Pan," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. "All right," said the teacher. "Lots of you want to be Peter Pan, so I'll have auditions next week to choose parts." She gave them the words to learn. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" asked Ma. "Raj said I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "That just shows what Raj knows," said Ma. "A girl can be Peter Pan if she wants to." Grace cheered up. Then later she remembered something else. "Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black," she said. Ma looked angry. But before she could speak, Nana said, "It seems like Natalie is another one who doesn't know anything. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it." On Saturday, Nana told Grace they were going to go out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and a train into town. Nana took Grace to the Grand Theater. The sign outside said Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet in sparkling lights. Are we going to the ballet, Nana? Asked Grace. We are, honey. But first, I want you to look at this picture. Grace looked up and saw a beautiful young ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer, it said, "Stunning new Juliet." That little one, Rosalie, is from back home in Trinidad, said Nana. Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me, do I want tickets to see her Rosalie dance? So this time I said yes. After the ballet, Grace danced a part of Juliet, dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. I can be anything I want, she thought. On Monday, the class met for auditions to choose who was the best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter, she knew exactly what to do and all the words to say. She had been Peter Pan all weekend. She took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook and Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. You were fantastic, whispered Natalie. The play was a huge success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, I feel as if I could fly all the way home. You probably could, said Ma. Yes, said Nana. If Grace put her mind to it, she can do anything she wants. Amazing Grace. I hope you enjoyed the book. I certainly did. What did you think about the story? What was your favorite part? My favorite part was of the story was when everyone told Grace she couldn't do something and she proved them wrong, and she did. Share a comment or two about this story on this Facebook post, or because we would love to hear from you. Thank you to the Peoria Playhouse and Kappa Alpha Psi for having me. If you would like to learn more about the Peoria Playhouse memberships and upcoming events, please visit peoriaplayhouse.org or go to their Facebook page. You can find out more about Kappas for Kids program in their Facebook page. I hope you join the Peoria Playhouse and Kappas for Kids for another story time next week. Until then, keep reading, stay safe, and bye-bye.